mom shows up. But even mom didn't show up. So Liz Smith just lost her mom, and thinking there was a loss in her family, she was going to fill the hole by adopting this sweet little baby. And so she did. I wish stuff like that made more headlines. Isn't that the sweetest thing in the world? This woman had a need, a hole to be filled, and this baby was dropped off and had no family and was really just looking to fill somebody's hole. And they happened to be in the same ward at the same time, in the same hospital, in the same town. I know, that's kind of chokes you up a little. If I had feelings, I might be choked up right now. 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. Best day ever next. I'm James Parker, in for John David Wells. This is the Wells Report on the USA Radio Network.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year, a month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-PSALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-PSALM.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-985-1813 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-985-1813 now. Again, that's 800-985-1813. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $15,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. National Debt Relief has helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-274-9490. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-274-9490. That's 800-274-9490. 800-274-9490.
Hey there, how you doing? This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on the USA Radio Network. I'm James Parker sitting in for John David Wells. 844-RADIO-US if you want to jump in. Of course, you better hurry up. It's the last day of the show. But it's been fun. You know, I was just flipping through Twitter over here. There's a viral video going around of some guy who tried to hit a pedestrian in a crosswalk of a parking lot. And the guys don't know each other. He had to stop at a crosswalk, and some guy's walking past, and as he gets to the very end of his bumper, this guy just guns it and kind of swerves toward him and knocks him over. Doesn't really hurt the guy, thank goodness. Doesn't run over his legs or anything, but he does physically hit him and knock him to the ground, and then he just drives off. But they followed the security camera footage from store after store down the road until he went into a convenience store. And so they're looking for this guy. They got a good picture of him. Guy with the big dumb beer gut. Kind of looks like Farva from Super Troopers. What would make you do that? They're total strangers. This guy's walking too slow. It's ticking me off. I'm just going to gun it at the end. That'll show him. People are weird. You could have killed that dude. What is wrong with people? Anyway, I like to end the show with a little history segment. You know, we're big into education whenever I'm hosting on the show. We call it Best Day Ever.
Best Day Ever.
Hey there, welcome to Best Day Ever. It's this day in history through the prism of James. I am your host, James Parker. Thank you. And I'm going to tell you why today. This is it, April 5th. This is the best day in the history of ever. It was on this day in 1614. American Indian Pocahontas married English colonist John Rolfe in Virginia. And no, it was a different one. No, not the senator from Massachusetts, not Elizabeth Warren. This was a different Pocahontas. I think that's her real name. I think that's
Best Day Ever.
That'd be funny if her real name was Elizabeth and they just called her Pocahontas for fun. It was on this day in 1621 the Mayflower sailed from Plymouth, Massachusetts on a return trip to England. It was on this day in 1792 President George Washington cast the first presidential veto. It was for universal health care. I think it was, oh no, I'm sorry. It was for apportioning representatives among the states. It was on this day in 1843 Queen Victoria proclaimed Hong Kong to be a British crown colony. It was on this day in 1869 Daniel Bateman, the last surviving soldier of the U.S. Revolutionary War, died at the age of 109. It was on this day in 1892. In New York, the Ithaca Daily Journal published an ad introducing a new 10-cent ice cream specialty called a Cherry Sundae. So happy birthday to the Cherry Sundae. It was on this day in 1933. The first operation to remove a lung was performed at Barnes Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri. It was on this
Day Ever.
Yeah. It was on this day in 1951. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg were sentenced to death for committing espionage for the Soviet Union. Yeah, because there was the dossier where there was something like a
Best Day
they colluded with the
Ever.
Russians. That's always going to be funny for us, isn't it? Check this out. It was on this day in 1984. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar became the all-time NBA regular season scoring leader when he broke Wilt Chamberlain's record of 31,419 points. And I think, isn't he still in number one? It's either him or Kobe.
Best Day Ever.
And I think Dirk just passed Wilt Chamberlain. Isn't Dirk Nowitzki number 3 now? It was on this day in 1985. John McEnroe said, any man can beat any woman at any sport, especially tennis.
Best Day Ever.
He's right. It was on this day in 1987, Fox Broadcasting Company launched Married with Children and The Tracy Ullman Show. The two shows were the beginning of the Fox lineup. Hey, I remember that. That was the beginning. That was the first. I thought maybe we just got to Fox Channel in my town because we lived in the middle of nowhere and Fox hadn't come out there yet. It was on this day in 1997, very important day in Texas history, the 100th episode of Walker, Texas Ranger aired on CBS.
Best Day
And finally,
Ever.
it was on this day in 2009, North Korea launched a rocket that prompted an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Hadn't been launching a whole lot of rockets here lately, though, has he? I wonder why that is. Could be anything. It probably.
Best Day Ever.
Hey, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I love filling in on the Wells Report. John David Wells is so nice for letting me do this for him. And thank you to back in the studio to Phil Brown. Thank you to Chris O'Sullivan. Thank you to the big boss lady over at USA Radio, Janet Bro. I like working for you. Let's do this again. And hey, go find the show, The Wells Report, on the Facebook. Facebook Live's going about to shut it down, but you can catch all the shows on demand and live, the video version of them on Facebook Live. Find me at James Parker. I'm James Parker. In for John David Wells. This has been the Wells Report on the USA Radio Network. Wayne Allen Roots is next on most of these stations. Have a good weekend.
Hi, this is Wayne Allen Root on behalf of my great buddy Ron Corey. Ron's one of the most successful businessmen in Vegas. He's living the American dream, and he's written a hot new best-selling book about his crazy and dangerous journey. This Vegas tough guy and former Marine fought shady thugs, dirty cops, corrupt politicians, and mob wannabes. An entire city tried to frame him and put him in prison for 50 years. But my buddy Ron is so tenacious, he beat them all. And now he's telling the real story, nothing but the facts. Tenacity is the raw story of what it takes to make it in Vegas and the business world with the most colorful and shady supporting cast ever. Ron beat the police, City Hall, and stage 4 cancer. What are the odds? Only in Vegas. Tenacity is such a wild story. Hollywood now wants to turn Ron's book into a movie. This story is so good. Famous movie actor Michael Madsen of Donnie Brasco is the voice of the audiobook. Go to Amazon today and order Tenacity by Ron Corey as a book, ebook, or Kindle. That's Corey, C-O-U-R-Y. Visit his website, roncoreyauthor.com. For more details, go to Amazon to order Tenacity today.